Welcome guys, what's up? Dom The Commish here, and today we're going to be starting a new series called Path to the Podium. Now what this series is going to be is throughout the next 32 videos, all we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing drafts, we're going to be doing off seasons, we're going to have a great time with it. Basically, I'm going to take all 32 teams and simulate their off seasons and their drafts, and I'm going to do exactly what I think that these teams should do, and we're going to simulate them using the Pro Football Network's simulations for both the draft and the offseason. And so, yeah, I think we should just get started with our first team today, the Tennessee Titans, who hold the number 1 pick overall in the draft. That's kind of how we're going to do this. We're going to do it by picks. And, yeah, that's about it. Let's get this show on the road with the Tennessee Titans. All right, here we are in the Tennessee Titans depth chart. Here is who we have. So, quarterback, Will Levis, Mason Rudolph, definitely a big need, but I think since we have the number 1 pick overall in the draft, we're going to be using Cam Ward. I'll say that a little bit. I'll do a little bit of a spoiler, but we're probably going to draft a quarterback. Running back, Tony Pollard, Tajay Spears. Not really too interested in either of them, but if we're keeping both of them, then I'm probably not going to trade anyone away or grab a different running back in the draft. Tyler Boyd, Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. I'm honestly okay with this wide receiver room. Calvin Ridley's getting a little bit older. Offensive line is a bit trash. They could definitely use a little bit of work in the later rounds. And then the defense also needs a lot of room to improve. I think that the edge room definitely could use a bit. Sebastian Joseph-Day and Jeffrey Simmons are not get to the quarterback kind of guys. I like Harold Landry. Chidobe Awuzie is a good corner. But overall, I think there's a lot of places that we can fix this team. And so let's start with the re-signing period. So these are the cuts. I've actually never used this before. So, oh no, these are cutting and restructuring. So we currently have a cap space remaining of 38 mil. Now, players with their top cap hits: Calvin Ridley, Harold Landry, L'Jarius Sneed, Jeffrey Simmons. Calvin Ridley taking up 28 mil is not something I like. And cap savings, we would lose 9 mil and we would save a lot more. I think that Calvin Ridley has been okay this season. I don't think he's been bad enough to cut, so I'm not going to cut him. Landry's fine. Cushenberry is fine. Awuzie, Hooker, Kenneth Murray. I'm guessing that these are like what happens if we cut them. We save $8 million if we cut Amani Hooker, $7 million if we cut Kenneth Murray. I don't think I'm going to cut anyone for this. Nicholas Petit-Frere, we could definitely maybe cut. Will Levis, no. Josh Wiley, no. I think we could save 14 mil this year if we restructure Calvin Ridley. I think we're going to restructure Calvin Ridley because now we have 52 million in cap space, and that'll give us enough to at least get a couple other guys. So I think we're going to restructure Calvin Ridley. I'm guessing this shows all the other teams what they do. Here are all the guys that we need to re-sign. There's a lot of them. Abdullah Anderson. Any of these guys that I really want back. Not too many. Jack Gibbons is a pretty good linebacker. I'll try and re-sign him. What is he asking for? This is a bit of a tough one. Let's keep going down. Mason Rudolph, don't really want to grab him. Nick Folk, we could probably re-sign you again. And Tyler Boyd, we can re-sign. I don't want to give him too much of a deal. So let's test this out real quick. If I give... Where is... Okay, Nick Westbrook-Ikhine. He had a kind of good season this year. Let's look at what he's making now. I believe it shows it here, right? He's 27 years old. I am okay with giving him a decent deal, but I do want to see what happens if So, like, if I give him a 3-year deal worth, he wasn't a great receiver, maybe like 3 years, 15 mil, so 5 mil. If I offer this and he rejects it, he accepts it. Okay. So that's kind of how it works. So I guess re-sign Ikine. Quandre Diggs, I think we're also going to want to re-sign. His franchise tag is 19 mil. So I think we go. Let's check Quandre Diggs again. Where are you? Are you not even here? Where are you? So I think we might as well. Ryan Stonehouse, let's give you just. What's your franchise tag? Stonehouse, you're 6 mil. Let's give you a 3-year deal worth 1.5 mil. You accept that offer. Makes sense. We need our punter back. He's been very good for the Titans. Tyler Boyd, I'm cool letting walk. Quandre Diggs, I do want back. Franchise tag is 19 mil. He was injured a lot this year, so can I get away with giving him... He's 32. Maybe not as much money. I would get him on a 1-year... No, I don't think we need him. We could draft a corner this year. We have Will Levis for another year. Don't really need to worry about Mason Rudolph. Chestnut and Kelly, don't care. Jerome Baker, he was pretty good this year, wasn't he? Yeah, he's our starting inside linebacker. So franchise tag is... Our franchise value is 27 mil. So let's try giving him a... We'll give him a 4-year deal. And we'll give him... 6 million a year, kind of. Offer rejected. Okay, this is what I want to see. Can I offer it back to him now? Okay. If he doesn't take that, let's go 7 mil with 25% guaranteed. Okay, cool. Anybody else that we need to re-sign? All these guys are kind of just like mid at the end of the day. Joseph Day, didn't I see him around here? I'm just gonna move this here. Sebastian Joseph Day, he's a good defensive lineman. We'll probably bring him back on a 3-year, 6 mil contract with 20% guaranteed. Not too bad. These numbers might be a bit off, but these are the guys that I think they're just going to re-sign. And then, who else do I want? We can get another kicker. Any of the other guys that I see here? Did I see Tavondre Sweat? No. All right, I think we're going to let the rest of these guys walk. And then now it's time to simulate the free agency. A lot of players that had a lot more re-signings. Okay, so here we go. Oops, just dropped my phone down here. Okay, welcome back. Okay, so let's look at our roster. Will Levis is a QB. That's going to change. Tony Pollard, Tajay Spears. We could sign a third, but I'm not really too worried about that. The wide receiver room, not terrible. Same thing with the tight end room. Might grab one in the draft. The offensive line, we could sign a backup center maybe. But overall, this team is not too bad. But let's take a look at who we want. I want a receiver because I just don't think Calvin Ridley is good enough. You've got Godwin, Diggs, Darius Slayton, Keenan Allen, DeAndre Hopkins, Marquise Brown, Lockett. I feel like you want one of the experienced guys. If I grab Tyler Lockett as kind of like that guy, he's older, so I'd give him a 2-year deal, 30% guaranteed, and then give you maybe 3 mil a year? How does this work? Can I see? Okay, so offers rejected. So let's do 3 years. Let's do a 2-year, 10 mil, 30% guaranteed. Still rejected. Could we do 6 mil and then 30% guaranteed? It's still rejected. All right, Tyler Lockett does not want to come here. Who else we got? Mike Williams, Robert Woods. No, I don't really like all these guys too much down the board. What if we just traded away DeAndre Hopkins? We're not going to bring him back. Who would be a good fit? Calvin Ridley's kind of like a speed type, like route runner. Maybe Chris Godwin's the best guy we have on here. He just tore his, not tore something, but like he had a bad injury towards the end of the year. If I gave him like a $7 million 3-year deal, no. I should probably look at. Hold on, I'm gonna go look up NFL value chart. Okay, here we go. Positional value in the NFL. So yeah, this is the QB. Wide receivers average about $9 million a player. So that's for the average player. And none of these guys are going to be top 10 in their position. So I guess we can try and get an $8 million deal for Tyler Lockett. If we do, he's very average. So honestly, if we do $9 million for 2 years and 30%, he accepts that, and we have Tyler Lockett signed. We still have $24 million in space. I kind of want to get a guard here. You've got Zach Martin. You've also got Ryan Kelly, James Daniels, Nick Herbig. Skoronski's a decent guard, but we have no depth under him. So we're probably going to go with James Daniels, who, let's take a look. So guard makes average about $6 million, and I think he's around average. So let's see if I can get away with $5 million for James Daniels. He is 27 years old. Yeah. So honestly, if we want to give him a 4-year, $5 million a year, let's try 5.5. 5.5 for 4 years and 30% guaranteed. No. Let's try 6.5. Let's go 6.55 for 4 years, 25% guaranteed. No, he's being a bit difficult. Why don't we try Nate Herbig at $6 million, 4 years, 25%. Okay, perfect. So now we have Nate Herbig and Peter Skoronski's still in his rookie deal. Not too terrible here at guard positions. Our tackles, we can grab one in the draft, but I think they're fine. Tight ends, not really too worried about it. What are some other really good guys I see here? Ooh, I see a lot of good edge rushers here. What if we brought Chase Young to Tennessee? Now, Chase Young's going to want a little bit of money. We have about... Or should we go to the secondary? Is edge or the secondary more important right now? I think edge is more important. Yeah, I think edge is more important. So let's try and get Chase Young, I guess. Let's offer him. Average players for an edge is going to be about 10 mil. We have 18 mil to spend. So what if we go straight on the money? 10 mil, offer him a 3-year deal with 20% guaranteed. That's cool. So now we have a 10 mil cap hit for Chase Young. And that gives our edge group, and we have 8 mil remaining. I think we're just going to leave that over till next year. So let's complete our free agency. So we signed Chase Young, Nick Herbig, and Tyler Lockett. Zach Martin, he went to that things. And that's pretty much all we've got so far. Now let's move on to the draft. We're doing a full 7 rounds. If we look at the Titans picks, can I even look at the Titans picks? My picks, yeah, here we go. We have 135, 102, 119, 133, 142, 180, and 241. That is 8 picks in total. Obviously, the number one need is QB. I would also not mind a younger edge, some secondary guys, maybe a guard or something like that. Let's start with... there's no trade offers for number 1, which is okay because I don't think we're going to trade down anyway. And I think we're just going to go with Cameron Ward at number 1. It's just going to go down, but Cam Ward is just... He's the best player in this class, I think easily, and... He's the best player in this class, best QB in this class, and I feel like he'll shine in Tennessee if given the right weapons around him. I mean, you have Tyler Lockett as a route runner. You have Calvin Ridley as your deep threat. Same thing with Westbrook Akine, also a deep threat. And I really like all these guys. Now, looking on the board, I see Mike Green, who has been unbelievable in the Pro Bowl. I see Xavier Restrepo. I see Wyatt Millum, Landon Jackson. Overall, I mean, there's not too many. There's still a lot of, and I can get JT Tuimoloau later down in the draft, who I do like, especially in this situation. I could also get Mike Green. Xavier Watts is a safety. What are the trade offers that have? You've got the Packers offering 54 and a second, which that could be a decent trade down spot. Where's 54? 54 is towards the end of the second. We'd probably be able to get Hairston, Donovan Jackson, Jack Sawyer, Isaiah Bond. That's not a bad deal to trade down with. Who else do we have? Is it just the Packers? Okay. So what could we possibly get, like maybe a sixth this year too? And then we can do it? No, it's been rejected. What about a pick swap? We give 1/6. They get 1/6. They give 160. We give 180. Perfect. Okay. So now we move down. We gain an extra second from next year. And they use it to take Mike Green. Yeah, that would honestly make a lot of sense. If Mike Green's still on the board in the second round, the Packers definitely would trade up for him because he's a very good player. And we also moved up 20 spots in like the 6th round, which is good. So 54, we got Restrepo still here, Deion Walker, Caleb Johnson, Ayomanor, Maxwell Hairston, Jack Sawyer, Isaiah Bond, Tate Rutledge. I see a lot of guys that I do like here. What do we have in terms of trades? Jets are offering 92, 157, and a second. We aren't trading that far down and getting more. They already got a second for next year. 54 and 241 for 61 and a Washington third. No, that's not happening. So we're going to stick a pick here. And I think the next need that we're going to need, if we go to the offseason manager, we're definitely going to need another DB. And I think that guy is going to be Maxwell Hairston out of Kentucky. He's a solid player at a position of need. And I think that he can definitely be decent in the league. It looks like we didn't have a 3rd round pick this year, which does kind of suck. We missed out on a bunch of good guys there. Now I want to boost up the offensive line. Oh, Miles Frazier is still here. Ooh, I do like Miles Frazier. Jonah Monheim as well at 102. We might be able to get him with our next pick. When's our next pick? We got 102 and 119. We could probably get Jonah Monheim with our next pick. Torrey Holton, Ricky White. QBs, we already got one. Running back, don't need one. Safety, maybe. Malachi Moore, edge. Josiah Stewart, Jaden Ivey. Josiah Stewart's still here. He's a decent player. Let's go with, I think we're going to take the value that we're getting right here at 102, and we're going to take the 87th ranked player and Josiah Stewart. He can be the next to Chase Young, especially if he gets hurt again. And then now, because I see this Jared Wilson, the center, going off the board, now is the time to take our center, Jonah Monheim. He's a very solid center at USC. We got an offer, 133 for 148, 197, and 207. That's quite a lot of value. That's 3 picks from this year. We lose out on a 7th this year. When is 207? 207 is in round 6. So basically, when does round 6 start? 179. So we basically get 2 6th and a 5th for our late 4th round pick. That's not a bad trade offer, but I think we're good on the Washington's offer. I think we're going to reject that. And I think we're going to grab a receiver late in the draft, and that is going to be San Jose's receiver, Nick Nash. I mean, Nick Nash has had one of the best seasons. I think he had the best wide receiver season this year of sole wide receivers. Maybe McMillan had a better one, but yeah. And then I feel like there's just too much talent at the running back position to not take one all draft. And I see Kyle Monaghy sitting here in the 5th round. I'm taking Kyle Monaghy here just to back up Tajay Spears and Tony Pollard. Tony Pollard's getting older, and I'm not necessarily trusting him with our future. I'm also not trusting Tajay Spears with the future just yet. I just realized I forgot to sign a kicker. We'll probably just sign one out of free agency, maybe Brett Sauls. And the next guy we're going to throw in, we got a receiver, we got a center. I'm thinking another secondary player. And I'm thinking of getting, should I get Shiloh? That would be funny. No. I'm going to get Jamari Harris out of Iowa, because Iowa's always had pretty decent defenses. They weren't great this year, but we need the secondary help, and Jamari Harris is right there. Definitely could help us out quite a bit. And then the last pick that I'm going to be doing in this draft is a tight end. I kind of want a tight end. Tight end class is a bit... Oh, it's actually... There's not too many people left here. Did one go right before us? Yeah, the Utah guy. Any more receivers? Will Shepard. He's pretty decent. I think we'll go Marcus Tate. The reason why we went Marcus Tate is because we got our center. We still need a little bit more depth on that offensive line. And we're going to grab Marcus Tate just to have a young presence on that line. So in our first episode of Path to the Podium, we just we re-signed Nick Westbrook-Ikhine, restructured Calvin Ridley, signed Tyler Lockett, Nate Herbig, Sebastian Joseph Day, Chase Young, Jerome Baker, Ryan Stonehouse, and then in the draft, we picked Cam Ward with the number 1 overall pick, got some edge and secondary help in the next 2 rounds, got some skill positions in the later rounds. Kyle Monaghy is probably my favorite pick of this draft because he's a very good running back, was probably the only bright spot on that Rutgers offense this year. Nick Nash, probably the only bright spot on the San Jose State offense this year, and then picked up some offensive line and secondary depth in the later rounds as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode. If you want to see this series a bit more, I'm planning on doing it with all 32 NFL teams. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you guys continue to enjoy it. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe, please. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your night.